Hey friends, I'm David Bryan, and this is Doc. Doc is a 1952 Chevy Styline Deluxe. You know, Doc and I have been on a lot of journeys together, and we've had a lot of conversations, and believe it or not, he's got a lot to say. Listen, friend, you get in any old car, take him for a little ride, and you'll find out they've got a lot to say if you listen real good. I want to invite you on our journey and hear some of the thoughts and conversations we've shared with a few of life's neighbors along the way. So come on and join us for the ride. All right, so today, Doc and I are going to take you on a little ride to the local country corner store. It's called Lewis Country Store. And the reason I wanted you to have this experience with us is because this is such a unique location. Kind of a recreated piece of Americana. Lewis Country Store is a newer building, but it was built after the pattern of the old country store, corner store, general store. And there's quite an interesting story about Lewis Country Store and how it came into existence, and we'll see who we can catch up with there to tell us a little bit about how it came into existence. But the reason Doc and I wanted to take you on this little trip is because Lewis Country Store represents that piece of Americana that is missing in so many communities today. It's not just the gas station or the fact that it's located in the country, but it is kind of I guess we would call it an oasis. It's a hangout. It is a meeting place, a preserved meeting place that not only preserves the idea and preserves the picture of the corner store, but it preserves the culture. And I think that's the most important thing, and that's why Doc and I are attracted to it and why we wanted to bring you to it today, is just so that you could kind of see how Lewis Country Store has managed to not only survive the times, but thrive in these times. And I think it kind of stands as a bit of a memorial to the days gone by, as well as a reminder that those days are still able to be recreated. And so Doc and I, we come by here all the time, but today we wanted to just get you an introduction to some of the little places that Doc and I hang out at, and little places that give you and I an idea of what it really means to connect to the simple life. You'll find Doc and I do that quite a bit, connecting you to the simple life, and this is such a great story. We'll look forward to connecting with a couple of the workers today as we get inside Lewis Country Store. And there's no telling who all we'll meet up with. There's always somebody hanging out here on the front porch, and every time Doc and I pull in, somebody's got something to say, or there's always something going on. So come on in with us. We'll see what's going on here today at Lewis Country Store. All right, so here we go. Let's check it out.
So me and Doc just pulled in, and this, tell me your name again, is John Wayne. This is John Wayne. He is actually your industrial mechanic, like diesel, heavy equipment.
I work on cranes and backhoes and track hoes, dozers, that kind of thing. But I have responsible cars too, I do that too.
Yeah, you saw Doc.
Yeah. Here's my car right here.
Oh, cool, cool. Excellent. You just right up the road here?
Chapmansboro, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Out here in Chapmansboro.
Cool, all right. See now. Yeah, she is. I need to get her painted. Yep.
Look like original motor though.
It is. They overhauled it, but it is.
Yeah.
And I've got a master cylinder. I got to replace the master cylinder in it.
All right, we'll call that number if you want it done.
Man, I will, buddy, because I've got to get it painted. Got to get him all squared away, and so see, man, you meet all kind of neat people with old Doc. Hey, thank you, John Wayne. I appreciate you, and I'll be in touch. So this is Lewis Country Store. This is the store I was telling you about. We're pulling up to, and as you can see, it is a total piece of country Americana. I mean, it is the place to be. They've got everything in here. It's the gas station, it's the grocery store, it's the cafe. Yes. It's a hangout, and the cafe is not only inside, but the cafe is out on the front porch and the side porch too. It's just a hangout. And so the reason why me and Doc, that's my car, and I'm talking to Jessica here so you can hear her voice. And she's going to kind of guide us through some of the story here of Lewis Country Store. But Doc and I pulled in, and the thing about it is, Doc and I, we only go to like places that have some meaning, historical meaning, or have meaning that is past all the chaos and the stuff that's going on in the big city today. So when we come by this, which we come by very often, I said one of these days we're going to bring Doc by and hear what it really means to be a part of the Lewis Country Store family, what have you. So this is Jessica. You say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So you won't see her because she is going to be behind me kind of talking. Jessica, in fact, I'll let you hold this a little bit while I'm filming. Tell the story, like what made Lewis Country Store.
All right, so Lewis Country Store actually was all started over $100 bill. It's kind of a funny story. I know a lot of the smaller gas stations and even chain stores these days, they don't really like to take $100 bill in the instance that it could be a fake or that it's an inconvenience to them because they have to make change for that.
Yeah. And
that cuts into the change they have to run on for the rest of the day.
Sure.
But a gentleman went into a gas station and he was buying products and different various items, gas and things like that for his workers for the day.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to go check out, only thing he had on him was a $100 bill, and the gentleman behind the counter refused service to him because he didn't want to have to break that $100 bill. So he told him.
Coincidentally, that gas station was
right across
the street from where we are right now. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Well, so since he refused service to him, he told that man at that time, he said, I will open my own store and I guarantee you they will be able to cash a $100 bill at any time.
Yeah.
And that is definitely the case, and it has been ever since.
Now, this store was in the national news just a few years ago, and it was in the national news. And out here, it's just a different world in that we're not influenced by the city, you know, which I appreciate technology, I appreciate all that stuff, but I also appreciate the ability to remain, like we don't get overrun. Mm-hmm. And the thing that Lewis Country Store represents is a piece of American history that has survived. And that's not just the stuff that is sold here. It's not just the family atmosphere, but it also is there used to be a time in American history where we could have an opinion and people didn't get all jacked up about it. There used to be a time in American history when people could stand for things and do so kindly but firmly. And so this not only represents that piece of American history where you can just come in, it's a good family, local, or family-owned store, but you can also have conversations. And this store had a conversation, had an opinion, I guess we can say, right? The owners of the
Correct.
store had an opinion through the last presidential race. And everybody's allowed their opinion, no matter what. So locally here at Lewis Country Store, they held firm to their opinion of who should be president, President Trump, and they took heat for it. And tell us a little bit about what happened because of that.
Okay, so what actually ended up going down was they had put up some pro-Trump propaganda up on our reader board, and it was, you know, anti-Hillary, and unfortunately Shell Station wasn't very happy about getting phone calls complaining that we had those signs up.
Corporation, as far as the
Yes.
corporation Shell Gas.
And that's where we were getting our gas from. And they weren't happy that they were getting phone calls, and they tried to actually tell us that we had to change the message on our reader board.
Wow.
And if they weren't, that if we would not,
Yeah.
that they would actually take down all their signage and stop delivering gas to us.
Right.
And so the owners here, they're pro-military.
Yeah.
Actually, the actual owner of this store was an Army Ranger.
Wow.
So of course
Cool.
he, you know, stands up for the American flag. He stands up
You
for
can
this
kinda see
country,
some of that,
and
too.
he wasn't about to let them tell him what to do.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my reader board, that's my sign, and I'm the one that put the message up there, and I'm
Sure.
not going to take it down.
Yeah.
So inevitably, Shell ended up coming out here and taking away all their signage and stuff.
So they tried to, in essence, politically
Push us
Yeah,
to do
like
what they wanted us to
their
do.
agenda, their ideas, whatever. And what they did was they cut the contract so that they could not get gas here anymore. And it sat for 4 months without selling gas.
That's correct. We had absolutely no gas whatsoever in this store for 4 whole months.
But it was still busy.
Oh God, yes. The sales actually went through the roof. We had people coming in from all over the country just to support us,
Yeah.
just to show that, hey, we're
Isn't
proud
that
of this small store
Yeah.
that stood up to the big guys and
Yeah.
was like, no,
Yeah.
we are not going to let you guys go under
Yeah.
for standing up for what you believe in.
Isn't that awesome? That's really awesome to
I
me.
mean, it is. It's amazing, which personally, I do all the inventory here.
Sure.
So I
You
would be
saw
the
it happen.
one who would see the sales and see
Yeah.
what kind of reflection that made on it. And
Yeah.
when I tell you that this place was packed every day, it was
That is so
every
cool.
day. We met people from all over the country.
That is so cool. What do you think, Jessica? What do you think makes a store like this special to Scottsboro, special to the community? Like, are there a couple of items that stick out to you?
I would say one of the great characteristics about this store is going to be this awesome front porch that we have.
Yeah.
It's like the local hangout.
Sure.
We have a lot of the older folks in the community. They're like family as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they might as well be an employee because they're here every day.
Yeah.
They all have relationships with us as
Right.
employees. And I mean, we all have our favorites, and there's just an ongoing building relationship.
Right.
It's same thing with our coworkers. So the
cool.
community, they're so accustomed to the we're not going to back down kind of persona here.
Yeah.
And they love it.
That is so cool.
They do. So
Yeah.
we just have so many regulars that are just devoted to this store
Yeah.
and this community.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
Well, it's one of the things I love about the immediate community, about what the store represents, and just that feel, that vibe. We've sat here and had breakfast with the boys or whatever early in the morning. And the cool thing about it is, yeah, there are some technologies that are necessary, right? You know, but at the same time, there's some technologies that they have here. Like, for example, and the boys thought this was so cool. This is your message center. That's the line here. Let me see if I can put my finger. You see that line there, folks? It goes across. When they put an order in, and they just throw it across that line, and it goes back into the kitchen area. Makes a sound when it hits the thing.
It hits a cowbell.
Yeah, and so when it hits the bell, order goes off, the sound goes off and they start putting the order together. It is the coolest thing. And so to me, this is just a piece of America that has not and will not be touched. And I love what it represents and what it seems to be. And I'll let you have the last piece of this. It is a community in itself. It is a piece of preserved Americana. It's kind of a refuge to everybody. And to me, that's what I think makes it attractive to so many, because we're missing that nowadays. Everything's kind of getting overrun with corporate. And that's one of the things we appreciate about Lewis Country Store is they stood up to the corporate mentality and just the modernization of everything. Everything doesn't have to be, and Lewis Country Store is proof of it, and Doc and I are grateful for that. So just one last statement. Jessica, thank you for taking time with us and all of our viewers today. And I'm sure we'll do another story here again, and we'll come after you get all prepped and everything, we'll come and do like a whole show. But just in closing, what's one thing that you would say about Lewis Store that it represents to you personally?
Well, I'm gonna have to say family.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because since it is such a family-owned business, and the ties run so deep in this community, and it's just from the time you get hired here, you're kind of accepted into this family.
Yeah.
And
So cool.
and we all kind of do things together, and we all work together, and we try to make it, you know, as much like a family as we can.
Right.
We actually had a young lady that worked here over while she was on college break over the summer.
Yeah.
Before she left, we all went down and had drinks together and celebrated
Wow.
her being here with us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the mentality of working for a family-owned business.
Yeah.
You know, like we do Christmas parties.
That's cool.
Every year.
Do you do them here?
We don't actually. We have in the past, they have, but usually they'll rent a venue and then we'll all go out and we'll do things as like a family unit.
Yeah.
Not
that's
just
cool.
as employee
That's
or
so cool.
employer, you know,
Right.
so, or co-workers. We do things more so as a family.
Yeah.
And that's something that I find is really special.
That is awesome. Well, you get that sense, and Doc and I appreciate it, and we appreciate your time. And before I leave today, I'm going to go buy something to help support the local store. And matter of fact, Doc and I are going to sit out on the front porch and rock for a little bit. So
Hey,
thank
that's
you,
the best
Jessica.
place to be, I'm telling you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate
You're so
you.
welcome.
And we appreciate Lewis Country Store. There you go.
1186.
Let's do that there.
1543.
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Do it 3 times and then it'll pay you twice.
All
43. You have a good rest of your day.
You
sir.
too, bud. Thank you much. This is the porch that we talked about rocking on. And that's it. We'll see you later, but thank you, Lewis Country Store, for standing up for all things Americana. Me and Doc appreciate you.